skiing was my first love. I started skiing when I was 2 years old and just loved it. There's some interesting pieces of that, but one of them is that I think it's probably obvious that, the guy that's signing your contract and paying you a bunch of money in the NFL is not real excited about you being on the ski slopes, right? So my second year in the league, Robert Kraft had just bought the team, and I made the mistake, being young and stupid, of coming back for spring training after that second season and telling the owner, the guy that signs my checks, about this amazing helicopter skiing trip I took my dad on. And I remember he just looked at me kind of funny, and he didn't really say anything. But when we negotiated my next contract, there was all this language in the contract about how much money I had to pay them back if I got hurt skiing. And some good ski buddies in Montana, and we had an agreement. Like, look, if I do get hurt, if I'm dying, you call ski patrol. If I'm not dying, you guys find a way to get me down the mountain. We will go to the gym. We'll lace up some basketball shoes, and I will get hurt playing basketball. And then the other thing we did, financial guy found us a Lloyd's of London underwriter that would insure me for 30 days a year. So I would just get 30 days of insurance. I would go ski. Never had to exercise on it. I mean, it was expensive skiing, but I wasn't going to not ski. It was too much a part of who I was. But yeah, never had to execute on any of that. I didn't tell people that I was skiing. That obviously was hopefully not common knowledge. I would love to tell you that I tried to ski a little safer, but it's probably not true. But somehow made it through. The funny thing with that insurance deal is that still that policy that they created specifically for this, they still use the same guys. He's actually insured, working with some of the Live Tour golfers that get all this guaranteed money up front, and they want to go skiing. He goes, "Oh, we'll just go get you a Bledsoe policy." So it actually has a name.
That's amazing.
It's the Bledsoe policy for to insure you when you're skiing when you're not supposed to be.
And by the way, if people aren't familiar, I mean, it's one thing a lot of us like to talk about how passionate we are about skiing and all of that. At the time, you signed the biggest contract in the history of the NFL. We're not talking small stakes here. So for you to say like, yeah, that's nice, grateful for that, I still am going skiing. Let's just say you were putting yourself at more financial risk than any of us.
Well, I think, you and your listeners will understand that, if you're a skier, it's part of who you are. The thought of not skiing for a few years just doesn't work for me.